Hello, folks. It's time for again to be on Dino Thunder. This is a review for episode 15 Storm Surge. It's kind of weird. It's like watching it for the very beginning, we have this weird moment where I'm like, you guys did a weird cut into the episode. I don't know why, but there's a weird cut to the episode. And let me just pause it right now because I'm doing it in the background, doing it Japan anime style. So we actually start out with Javi being a little bit upset with Ollie. It turns out that they had an appointment to where he was supposed to do a segment with him. Well, actually, no, it was samples. He was supposed to get him samples and he failed. Apparently, he wanted a fried pickle? Question mark? Yeah. Either way, it's like, okay then. So when it came to it, instead of actually having that segment, instead we did Jane and Jayborg, which this one was okay. This one's a tolerable one. This was very tolerable because they were just doing paint drying. It's a little bit good. It's a little bit good. But anyways, let me just actually pause this so I can watch it a little bit because guess what? The Saturday, Halloween, they decided not to show the episode that happened yesterday. Instead, they decide to actually give us Old Foes, the last episode, the previous episode, which is like, okay, I guess it does work considering it's Halloween, but dudes, do us a solid. If you're going to do that, I'm like, oh yeah, well, they didn't ask us to do it, but I thought it was a good idea. Then that means you should do a back-to-back. Sorry, but it should be true because again, you kind of supposed to have showed the previous episode, not just be like, oh, it's Halloween and that was a Halloween episode, so there we go. And it's like, yeah, again, if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna have to do a back-to-back. No charge, just for Halloween's sake, you do a back-to-back. But instead, no, SpongeBob. Yay. One second. Okay, so I had to look into it just to make sure that we got a little bit where it's like, okay, so again, the reason why he actually missed the whole entire thing was to get in line to buy these nice headphones. Which, yeah, I'm pretty sure the headphones are freaking awesome. It's like, especially if you actually work for YouTube or on YouTube or trying to do something, think that those freaking canceling headphones would be awesome. Get them today. It's like, yes, product placement. But it's like, nah, it's not product placement, dude. It's like, yeah, sorry, it's not product placement, but it would have been a great idea if they did have product placement. So it's like, oh, so that's the reason why we have this episode on YouTube. Product placement. Yes, a paid advertisement for Beats. Anyways, yeah, so we get to have this little moment of where it's like, oh, they're kind of setting up this freaking lesson of the day. There technically are, where it's like, oh, so Ollie got the brand new stuff, even though the old ones was pretty decent. He bought a brand new phone the week before. He even before that bought his new phone watch. And is there anything else? I think that's it. So they basically bought 3 things because he's all about technology, folks. He's all about the technology and sciences. Yeah, it's like, please don't get me started on this because it's like there deserves to be a little bit of a rant. It's like, yeah, we'll get to this rant as soon as we get to that part. But yeah, the other Rangers apparently get to hang out in Buzz Blast. So you don't mind? I guess technically Jane is a little bit of free spirit and loosey goosey. So I guess why not the Rangers get to hang out there? Why not the other 3 get to hang out there? I mean, well, technically Javi's sister is okay. So that means it's just freaking Zato and Ollie is the only 2 that actually is like, do you really actually want those 2 to stay? I mean, they're not working for you. Oh, man. My bad. Apparently it is a vegetable hybrid, a pickle and an onion. And they call them Funyuns. Okay. Frito-Lay's is about to freaking sue somebody. Because they already got dibs on that freaking damn product. They have dibs. So you can't call them the Funyuns. You can't call them Funyuns. maybe Punions or Pickions or something like that. But Funyuns, no, they're gonna get sued. It's like, yeah, if you try to do anything like that, you're gonna get sued. It's like, I made a cola and it came from Coats. I call it Coca-Cola. Yeah, you're gonna get sued, dude. You're gonna get sued. Okay, so at this point now we're at. So she made him drop one act and went to another act. So, well, not one act, to a new report. So basically, instead of the Funyun now, he has to do this storm that's going on, this weird storm that's going around. Well, it's just one central place. And well, basically, Ollie's trying to get up for it, being like, okay, well, I know one person that can help you. It's like his mom. It's like, yes, all right, mom can help you. And of course, now they basically show a little flashback being like, oh yeah, the Power Nexus star went into the water, did something. I wonder if that's the real cause of it. And this time he actually is like, well, Ollie's talking and is like, yeah, well, my mom is busy, but I can do it. I will be here. And he's like, okay, well, come at this time, dude. He's like, yeah, he gives a second chance. So first things first is that they're going to check out what is the weather and get the actual, what's the update on this freaking little mini storm? It's like, yeah, it's like, what's the update on this? And he's trying, his coffee's trying to be like, listen, come at 2 o'clock. Make sure you do it. So Ollie, we get to have a nice little close up with Ollie's mom. And it's like, Ollie's mom is here. And she actually has a sub underneath it, which I was like, I wish they kind of did the whole hint of being like, oh, well, she actually got the sub by from who? From freaking Sarah from Ninja Steel. Yes. It's like, that would have been cool. It's like, yeah, Sarah. Oh, it's like, no, it would have been Sarah's mom. Was it Sarah? I think Sarah has a mom. Yeah, Sarah's mom, and I forgot whose dad. It's like, yes. Oh, I think it was, let's say white ninja, yeah, her dad. So it's like, yeah, so it would be cool to actually have that brand. Anyways, we have Fun Gussie and Slither looking in the background being like, how can we actually grab this and get the freaking source, because it looks like they found something underneath the sea floor. So sadly, Ollie's mom actually has an old laptop. So a scheme is being born now. She has a freaking old laptop. So anyways, Ollie actually runs to where all the people are running away, and now it's a Sporex beast. And of course he calls the team. Well, meanwhile, while he's waiting for his team, he actually is doing some, making sure that he doesn't escape. And it looks like this freaking monster has the ability to use water techniques, which it screams the fact of, oh, they might need the 6th Ranger for this. It's like, yeah, I already be like, oh, I think they need the 6th Ranger for this, man. I'm pretty sure the 6th Ranger is needed. It's like, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but hey, if you get the 6th Ranger, that makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like, well, does storms actually like that really happen in this world? Yes, it kind of does. It's like, it's a weird phenomenon, but it kind of does happen. It kind of does. Yeah, and also, I think that's basically everything needs to be known. Just the fact of there's a sub, and sadly they didn't reuse props, which is like, oh, that makes sense. They reuse props, and the freaking sub that they got actually is from the Ninja Steel. It's like, yeah, but no one will actually notice because, well, you don't really get to see the sub. So, yeah, I think that actually makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Well, that was a good dodge by Ollie. It's like, yeah, that was a good dodge by Ollie, and that's a good effect. And Ollie actually now morphs, and here we go. Some good. He's like, he fights, and he's doing a decent job, able to actually stop him. And then the other two, and there we go. Everyone shows up, and now they are there, and Zato uses the blazing battle armor. I'm just going to call it that. And, of course, you get to have the cinematic, which is like, again, it makes the cinematic that happened in the second one, which was nothing. Yeah, it's very horrible. It's like, it's very, very horrible. 1 second. Of course, the blazing armor didn't actually stop him at all. He had water and he used it. Even though I was kind of hoping that if he's doing fire, if he do it hot enough, it'll just be steam and you could just basically just have, you know, a draw all the time. So they all return to his mom, and well, at this point now they find out that there's something down there that is actually golden, glowing yellow. And of course, well, at least the mom actually is nice. She's like, "Hello, everyone. I think I'm not be able to do anything. I'm pretty busy, and this thing is pretty weird." And yeah, the freaking it's like the laptop. However, it's like my personal opinion, the laptop I guess is okay, but if it's slow as this, it's like gee whiz. So meanwhile, Ollie and Javi Ollie and Javi actually has to go to Buzz Blast. The other three are gonna look at the command center and see how this plays out because it's like, yeah, this might be something weird that we need to look at. So the other three go to the command center. And then we go back to Buzz Blast, and lo and behold, guess who shows up? And now he can insert the freaking the rant. It turns out Slither shows up as W, which I would have liked if he used, I forgot, Weasel? Yeah, Wazzle. It's like, yeah, like Mr. Wazzle. And he has a gumball. It's like, if you can count how many gumballs there are, you get a newest laptop. Yes, the X335. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty convenient, isn't it? But it's like even crazier where it's like at least the writers are thinking. It's like I know I'm breaking fourth wall, but at least the writers are thinking me like, what can Ollie actually do to calculate to make sure he wins? Of course, the other hand, it's like, yeah, but someone else could have actually won it, and then what you'll do now. What you'll do now. So, anyways, instead of actually doing the actual report, Ollie was doing calculations to see how many gumballs that is actually in the. Yeah. And it's kind of funny where it's like he shouts it out and live on, and it's like Javi actually got screwed, and it sucks. Where it's like, yeah, there's something called multitasking, dude. It's like I'm pretty sure you might be smart enough to actually do the multitasking, but okay, fine, forget. Just to show that, yeah, he was very distracted, and he technically cared more for his mom than he did to actually help Javi out, which is kind of sucky. And his boss is right there watching, and you do have to actually admit, I thought only Amelia's doing the video reports. So apparently Amelia and Javi actually does video reports. Just like, oh, okay. So this is like what, his first one that we actually get to see, like actually. Yeah, but it sucks for him though. It's like, yeah, Ollie is not paying attention at all. And he says it. And it's like, dude, you got the laptop. And it's like, again, let me just pause this right now and insert the rant. And it's kind of funny that that Jane is like, smile though, even though you actually are very upset, smile. Anyways, the messed up part is like, if you're trying to make Ollie all about science and technology and he's supposed to be the brilliant one, how the fuck does Slither continue on to dupe them? This is like number freaking 3. I would say, yeah, number freaking 3. Yeah, I'd say maybe even 4, but I'll say 3. Because it's like, yo, he showed up again in the previous episode, a very previous episode, as someone from RAFCON. Then he actually posed as one of a random person to go into Izzy's freaking place. He even posed as Alfonso. No, anyways, yeah, posed as him, even though I think she was able to actually figure it out. But I'm just saying that he was still able to actually just not, yeah, it's like, eventually he went overboard, and that's like, yeah, that's what happened there, instead of, could have actually pulled it off. And now we have him as a random person again, and it's like, You're telling me he's all about the technology and sciences, and yet he hasn't even did a detector yet. It's like Scyther can show up anywhere at any time, and you don't know who a person is. And plus I even think about, hey, why don't they have a detector that actually detects if a monster is around them in a facility? Because if Scyther continues to actually peek at you, or even Fungussy, you kind of actually need to have that detector, so it's like it's harder for them to do things. But of course, the writers actually need some way to do something, right? And it's like it makes sense, but when it comes to a character that's supposed to be smart, it's not good. It's not good at all. This is not good at all. This is kind of messed up. Just saying. And as for the gumballs, it's like, yeah, let's talk about the gumball effect at the very end, because I have something to say about that last part. It's like, yeah, I can actually say something about the last part, and it wasn't really that messed to freak up, but yeah. Anyways, at least Ollie actually won the laptop for his mom, but lo and behold, at least Slyther is smart enough to be like, yeah, and we hacked it, so we can actually hack into the submarine and actually get whatever is there. But of course, Ollie actually has to defend himself from Javi, because it's like, dude, I trusted you, man, and you didn't do it. You didn't follow through. And it's like, yeah, well, I got this laptop for our mom, so it can be quicker to actually get an understanding what is down there. So it benefits the mom and it benefits everyone else. As for freaking W, of course, he's like, yeah, this is kind of weird, and it's like, of course, yeah, and it's the whole dog thing too. Yes. Oh man. But anyways, Ollie's able to actually transfer it to that laptop, and as soon as he does it, well, again, like I said, they did it so they can do it. And of course, the mommy was like, well, that's convenient. We needed a new laptop, and you were able to get one easily. It's like, yeah, that is very convenient. One second, let me check something out. So, correction, the mom actually was suspicious, but Ollie got more suspicious, being like, this was convenient. So, Ollie and Javi actually reports to the others in the command center, and, well, they actually are trying to check out what's going on for themselves. It's like, yeah, well, and that was a nice little, yeah, comment from Zato. So the others are actually showing up, and, well, lo and behold, of course, Slyther has his own laptop, which, yeah, that laptop looks kind of, whatever. And it's kind of funny how fun, because he was like, oh, I want to turn. It's like, oh, no, you don't. So there we go. And they all are there. The freaking new Sporus Beast and the other two. And of course, the team is there. And of course, he revealed that, yep, I'm the one who gave you that laptop, sucker. Oh, man, that's just messed up. But anyways, they morph. Yeah, anyways, yeah, they're about to morph after, of course, Slyther and Fungussy leaves. Let me just say, that's kind of a nice outfit on Amelia. Can I say that? It's like, she definitely looks like a reporter. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, now we actually get a nice morphing sequence, which is like, that's cool. And it's kind of funny that it took me looking at it, like, I guess the 15th time or something, that I'm like, oh, they have different poses, and it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, okay, well, at least they're even more detailed, but yet the helmet still is underwhelming. Putting the helmet on is still underwhelming, and I'm like, I really hope part 2 of it, they do at least touch that up. But anyways, yes, the Rangers go in, they fight them, and then all of a sudden they have their own armors. So I'm gonna have to actually, yeah, slow this down so I can tell you what the armors are, which you most likely see now. But it's like, yeah, they didn't show the armors. We actually have to now place what armors what. Meanwhile, of course, the Rangers are actually having an issue. Ollie's mom, however, has an issue of her own where she has to hide while Slyther and Fungussy is right there near the beach area, supposedly. And yeah, we get to see the drone and what he's carrying, which is a glowing container. I kind of wish it was the Zord itself, so it's like the Zord was just activating, and I don't know, but I guess this is okay. This is good enough. So it's glowing and it sparks, and then all of a sudden, which I think this is all right, where it's like, check this out. They actually decide to make the new Ranger just shows up in a weird like aura, and it's like that was pretty cool. Yeah, it's like kind of reminds me of Gold Ranger when he showed up just a little bit, but not too much. Yeah, it's like, and they still have yet. Oh yeah, he tried. It's like, yeah, Javi tries to use his hyper, and again it got deflected back as water. It's like, yeah, water balls, water spears. It's like, jeez. But of course, like I said, they need some lightning, and lo and behold, guess who shows up? The new Ranger. Yeah, the sad part is like I was trying to look and be like, I think some gold doesn't match. It's like, don't do that. Don't freaking do that. It's like, yeah, don't do that. Please don't. But yes, and Zato is like, this can't be. It's like, is it who I think it is? And of course, well, the new Ranger shows himself. He shows, of course, like usual, the new Ranger shows up and he has to strut his stuff. He shows that he has the dagger and his morpher, which we don't know that yet. But hey, I saw the Japanese version, so of course I know what it is. So anyways, yeah, so you have 5 minions, and they actually use it's like kind of crazy where it's like, yeah, in the Japanese version, Super Sentai, they've been using this certain way of how to film since Juoger. I mean, Juoger. Yeah, yeah, that's it. It's like, yeah, this new style of filming, and I think we have yet to even see it happen, so that's the messed up part. Anyways, as you can see, they need lightning, and lo and behold, he has lightning battle armor. It's like, yep. So it's like, wait, what? It's like, yep. Oh, and now it's 6 of them. I guess it was 6 minions, and he used the lightning armor, and he just knocks them all over. And of course, the Sporix beast is like, oh yeah, well, I have this water. Oh, what the I would just say, when it comes to the Go Ranger speaking, though, it's kind of like I have to get used to it. I might have to get used to it. And here we go again, where he has to combine his weapon, and here he's gonna be like, all right, let me use my most powerful water technique, as if I'm freaking Mewtwo. So it's a big major showdown, and he just fires at him, and it goes straight through it, even uses his against them, and he has been defeated. No Zords needed, of course. Yeah, that's an awesome look. That's a very awesome look. Hold on, I'm gonna just make sure. Hold on. Then after that, a few of them demorph. Actually, they all demorph except for, of course, the Gold Ranger. And they're like, whoa, you saved us, man. It's like, yeah, where are you? Who are you? And he's like, sup, NATO? NATO. Sup, Zato. And then he teleports. It's like, wait, when did he get a teleporter? It's like, yeah, that's a good question. What? So it's like, yeah, that's the only question of what. I have to most likely rewatch the first episode to actually understand. But like, so did yeah. So anyways, they went back to Ollie's mom. Ollie's mom actually talks about the whole thing of when the Gold Ranger arrived, and it's just like, yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, and that's gonna be a good Buzz Blast exclusive. And speaking of Buzz Blast, we go back to what Jane is going to do with the gumballs, which is a contest of blowing the biggest bubble. And of course, as you can figure, they somehow got J-Borg to do it. And of course, big bubble, and it splatters and it covers Jane and J-Borg. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with it. Personally, I actually got into a bubble contest too. Hubble Bubble actually was having a contest in Walmart, and sadly I kind of choked. But in the car, I made the biggest bubble I was able to do. Too bad. And note, for anyone who actually is trying to do bubblegum, technically J-Borg couldn't actually have done it because the sugar in the bubble gum actually will stun it. So she wasn't actually chewing that. I guess technically she can chew that fast, ? But it's like, yeah, but the sugars would still be in it because I guess technically the android will have saliva too. So I don't know. It's like, yeah, personally, it's like, I don't know, but it's like to blow a big bubble like that, you actually have to be voided of sugar, the sweetness that was in the bubble gum. Anyways, this episode itself, that was a nice surprise. It's like apparently the international spoilers, I was able to save myself from them because that was a surprise being like, oh, the Gold Ranger, even though it's like there's many hints. It's like, yeah, the Gold Ranger does have electrical powers. So, yeah. It's like, wait, hold on. In all the Gold Rangers that ever existed, I think almost every single one of them does have electrical abilities. Shut up. Shut up. Anyways, yeah, stay tuned for the inquiry that will happen later this week. But it was a decent episode. It was. Yeah, it's like they didn't screw it up too much. Yeah, they did a decent job.